By now, it's common knowledge that the bigger you are, the stronger you get. Just look at powerlifters who stuff themselves in order to achieve maximal strength. Ever heard of the concept eat big to increase your bench? Well, why exactly is that? If you brought in two equally experienced lifters with similar physical traits besides their weight, why would the heavier one be able to lift more? With all other factors in check, there is a direct correlation between strength and weight, hence the need for different weight classes in sports. Now, besides the simple "he has more muscle underneath that fat" answer, let's dive into the science of things. First off, being at a higher body fat percentage via caloric surplus provides better recovery and energy. You see, high intensity aerobic and resistance exercise can cause damage to your skeletal muscles and connective tissue, impairing your body's ability to transport blood glucose into your muscle cells, slowing down your body's capacity to replenish glycogen stores. While many mechanisms contribute to repair the damages that occurred intracellularly, muscle protein synthesis is a popular player. MPS is maximized when you're in a positive nitrogen and caloric balance, which is, of course, what the caloric surplus assures. Simply, your body needs energy to repair and grow. By definition, a calorie is a measure of energy. Fat stores are basically synonymous with energy stores since excess calories overall are stored as fat. Now, back to glycogen. Glycogen is basically your body's primary source of energy at the beginning of an intense workout. This gets used up first since it's the closest to the muscle that's active. Then your body resorts to the excess glucose or fat as energy. Now, as you can see, having those extra energy stores around may be beneficial to aid your body when it's putting in work. Now, obviously, having access to more energy and better recovery workout will indeed lead to better performance. While this may explain strength gains individually in the long run, it still doesn't answer why the bigger man outlifts the smaller man from the get-go. Time for some quick physics. Isaac Newton, a physicist, found that the net force acting on an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. Now, for us lifters, this means that the amount of force produced by the lifter depends on their mass, so how much they weigh, and their acceleration, so how quickly they can move that weight, which is primarily controlled by the muscles. According to this fundamental concept, if the lifter's acceleration is kept constant, but they increase overall mass, they'll be able to apply more force. Not surprisingly, a 2006 paper by Goran Markovic looking at the influence of overall body size on the performance of power and weightlifters found just that. As the athlete's body mass went up, so did the total amount of weight lifted by the athlete in their respective events. However, in both groups, there seems to be a limit to this effect where the heaviest contestants saw no additional gains and may have even hit a point of diminishing returns. Why? Well, what most people tend to forget is that the two variables in charge of producing force are actually inversely proportional to each other. So, as mass increases, acceleration decreases. Therefore, while training hard and stuffing yourself does augment recovery and the mass portion of the equation, it eventually just gets harder for your body to move as fast. This is why powerlifters do accessory work specifically for their acceleration, such as pin press or benching with bands for the bench press. Theoretically, as you gain weight, you have to at least maintain the velocity on your lifts in order to produce greater force. And of course, more force produced leads to more weight lifted. Finally, I want to address the better leverages argument that you get by being bigger. While muscle is primarily responsible for the motion of the exercises, the extra fluff you have in front and behind your body can reduce the range of motion of certain exercises, most notably for the bench press. A bigger chest and back can reduce the overall path that the barbell has to move, allowing you to move more weight. Sadly, this isn't really the case for the squat or the deadlift. Some people say that for the squat, the extra cushioning that you get gives you a boost at the bottom of the squat, since this extra fat bounces off against your thighs and offers some sort of recovery and boost. Well, this is an incorrect statement because, well, fat does have compressibility, obviously, since you can squish it, but it doesn't have any elasticity, so you don't really get a boost at the bottom of the squat to help you get back up. Fat doesn't really do anything, it just squishes there. Additionally, what I found to be an interesting argument is that intramuscular fat beneath your muscles, put your muscles in a more advantageous position by making them more perpendicular to the force of gravity that they're fighting against. Although this might seem smart at first, one study showed otherwise. 2015 Rahimi et al. Concluded that fatty inclusions, intramuscular fat, resulted in reductions in force and muscle quality. Now, although subjects were elderly, this is the first paper looking at such a relation. Therefore, this finding cannot be excluded. So the idea that the greater the angle in which your muscles attach to your bones is beneficial is actually wrong. In fact, it can even ruin your strength output. And with that, I hope the next time your bigger friend makes fun of your weak lifts, you won't get as sad. And that concludes this video. Leak a visual. If you enjoyed, comment down below what you want to see next, and I'll see you all next time.